Hi, everybody. Welcome again to another Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. It's Glenn Dietzel here. I'm live from our international office on a very cold day. We are in a cold snap here, and it is incredibly cold. I do have, yes, the nice toasty, warm fireplace going on here out of our media channel room here in our international office, and it's keeping my office definitely, and the rest of our team as well, very warm here. I want to provide and give you a hearty welcome today to our training, and we do have a ton of you watching. I'm humbled and I thank you. I see that we have over 1,300 people watching, and that's just from one location, not to mention our live feed site where we have almost 10,000 people on there now, and I'm humbled and I'm excited. So definitely I welcome your comments, and it's exciting to see so many of you realizing that what we've been teaching over the last few years, and particularly as we move into 2015, we are in the post-information age. And being in the post-information age means this, that what worked in the information age doesn't work anymore, or provides you less traction in what we refer to as the advisory age. I just got back from Las Vegas, and I'm going to show you a little clip there. And then I want to show you what my clients, we just met for a 3-day intensive at a very exclusive location. And I revealed to my clients and assisted on them with everything I'm going to show you today, with the end result of growing their coaching, consulting, and training companies a lot faster, a lot quicker, in an accelerated rate. So if you are frustrated by going too slow, if you are frustrated by using outdated information and tools and systems that simply do not, that prevent you from valuing your advice properly, from executing in the way that you want to, from closing deals in a third, the quarter, a fifth, a tenth of the sales cycle. If you hate sales, you're going to love what I'm going to teach you and show you. If you are losing market traction as a leader today, you're going to want to take special note because in today's market, it's all about knowing how to educate your marketplace. And this is the advisory age, the day and age to stand apart and follow the seam of success, doing what others don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. So with that being stated, I want to start off our training here today and show you what's going on at the Canadian Lake Home. It is a cold one. That's what it looks like today. And on the forest next to the Canadian Lake Home, pretty snowy and blustery, and definitely winter wonderland, and out overlooking the lake. And that's what's going on at the Canadian Lake Home. And those of you that are new to our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts, this is something that we do every single week. And show you what's happening at the Canadian Lake Home. And I'm humbled to have had hundreds and hundreds of top flight entrepreneurs fly in from all over the world and converge at the Canadian Lake Home, the Vegas Sandcastle, which is where I was last week with my clients, and provide accelerated teaching and accelerated business systems to help today's leaders in coaching, consulting, and training, or those that want a leadership role as a thought leader in their industry, the most accelerated way to grow a company. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. So we're you probably want to have paper and pen ready. And I've drawn out a number of diagrams for you here today, hand drawn, as is customary. You know that I like to hand draw the notes that I show you, kind of a little bit of retro given the technology, but I really believe writing is the doing part of thinking. And we've created some very cool systems to teach our clients how to message what they do. I just shared one of my clients that just in the last 30 days has been selling programs out of the gate for $5,000, and now he's scaling them higher. He's written his first credibility book using our entrepreneur authoring program, a program that we created 12 years ago, got us recognized by Adobe, and used the systems that I'm going to show you today to get his first TEDx talk, something that is on many thought leaders' bucket lists of being able to do. And this client was able to do it within 30 days of starting. And that's what we call speed to market. And I've been interviewing a lot of my clients, and yeah, they're selling programs that are upwards of 5 figures, 6 figures. You've met Winston Churchill, Kellen Flukiger, Joy Pecchia. You've met Brian Duvall, Stephen Rowell, and all these clients today that are using our predictable, certain, and secure systems to create massive market traction because they understand that it's not about comparing yourself to others, but having everybody compare themselves to you. So you've got to be able to stand apart in today's highly overcrowded marketplace. So as we get set here, I want to show you a video, and then I'm going to, of what kind of went on at the Vegas Sandcastle. It was a self-reflection video. It's a total of 1 minute and 14 seconds. So I'm going to play it for you. And this is me last Thursday, just finishing up the 3-day intensive with my clients at the Vegas Sandcastle. And I want you to be a fly on the wall here with what was going on. So let me share this with you, and just sit back and watch, listen, and this will set the scene for today's training.
Hi, it's Glenn Dietzel here, live from the Vegas Sandcastle, which is an exclusive location in Las Vegas. And I just finished a 3-day business intensive with my clients on how to command not just maximum fees and royalties for high-end programs and services, but how to utilize our proven, predictable, certain, and secure processes, systems, templates, coaching agreements to close deals faster and quicker than what they're doing right now, and to truly position their company at the forefront of what's going on in their industry as the industry leader, as the thought leader within their industry. And it gives me no greater pleasure than to be able to assist clients to be able to do this. They flew in from all over the world to attend this 3-day business intensive. This is my Omega Mind group, and I'm excited, and I just wanted to let you know and encourage you to set yourself apart and commit to taking the kind of action steps in your business to get the kind of results that you're really after.
Okay, so we all want this, right? We want to be unstoppable, and that's going to be the theme of what I want to present to you today. So before I share with you the 7 recommendations that I have for you around being unstoppable, I want to share with you 3 critical points. And that was the first point that I want to share with you, is that becoming unstoppable always starts with a critical decision. And, you know, you've heard, I'm sure, that execution is everything, right, in business. And I believe that, you know, not just execution, but the right kind of execution is crucial. But even more fundamental and harder than execution is making a decision to take the kind of action steps that are going to give you the kind of results that you want to. So I want to, with our theme of becoming unstoppable, I want to this to undergird and underline everything I'm sharing with you. And I want to encourage you to decide what you want and make it happen. And in just a moment, I'm going to share a story with you about what I did because I was really steeped in not just procrastination, but even more fundamental to procrastination, overthinking. And I see so many well-meaning entrepreneurs today and those that are in startup mode or struggling in business, so hammered by themselves and by the systems they created and the action steps that they created. and the inability to take kind of critical action steps or making critical decisions, that it's holding them hostage. So we want to get out of that. Secondly, you've probably heard this from so many people that, incremental change is good. And the goal in business, especially if you're in startup mode, is to replace an expense or cover an expense, or to then cover your expenses. And I want to tell you that I believe incremental change is good because it reflects the fact that you're getting out of your comfort zone. But I want to encourage you with this thought, and this is kind of a scary thought, that incremental change just doesn't bring speed. And incremental change isn't going to provide you the kind of growth that you need. It is crucial to you not just surviving, but thriving in 2015 and beyond. So you've got to think beyond incremental steps, and you got to think in terms of quantum leaps. So you've got to make speed your friend, and speed has got to be your competitive advantage as part of, your positioning and the way that you package, and most importantly, the way that you create your plan of execution in business. And so the third component here is, before we start on these 7 principles around becoming unstoppable, and these are the tools and systems and processes that I teach my clients, and I'm going to show you what's in back of all of these processes, tools, systems that my clients use to close deals, to pitch deals, to build their branding, to get on TEDx talks, to position a $25, $50, $75, $100,000 plus coaching, consulting, training program, to create and get paid over and over again, to command coaching royalties. And these are all concepts that are mostly foreign to most coaches, consultants, and trainers today. It's because they're doing the wrong things. And usually because it's not that they're taking action, but they're not focusing on the right kind of action. And they're focusing, instead of incremental action or accelerated action, they're focusing on incremental action. And we want to stay away from incremental action because it doesn't provide us the growth that we really want. So how you think should always constrain your action steps. How you think should always constrain your action steps. And let me give you, as a sort of third point, let me give you my just quick story about me when I was back as the youngest vice principal in Canada. I was an elementary school vice principal. I've got no MBA background, even though we've got a lot of clients that are MBA. I have MBAs. I've got no sales training. And here I am helping clients from over 120 industries pitch their coaching and training deals, and getting other coaches, consultants, and trainers to work with them. And that's how you build some incredible royalties. Remember, I said you want to think of coaching royalties. And back when I was in education, one of my specialties was in accelerated teaching. And I created some very cool systems that teachers to this day still use to help students get the kind of results that that edify and build their self-esteem, because they're accomplishing in ways that they've never accomplished before, and makes teachers look good, and also allows teachers to fairly assess students without parental involvement or parents. Not that you don't want parents involved, but parents doing the work for students. So I specialized in an area around accelerated learning. And it's interesting that I was all about accelerated teaching and learning. And yet in my own growth, I felt constrained by the educational model, and constrained by the fact that there was so much more I could do, but yet I was scared to take a leap. I was doing and practicing incremental growth. I was reading a lot of books, right? I was downloading a lot of programs. I was investing in, a lot of systems, and really kind of, if you will, holding myself hostage to business by treating business as a hobby, or treating business up in my head, as opposed to making the business actions ones that were kinesthetic, that was I was doing in the marketplace, and doing And we've created a very systemized approach to this today, and some very cool systems that have been built off of almost 12,000 hours now of working in over 120 industries. But back when I was a teacher, this whole notion of so many coaches saying, you know, first of all, you want to sell a low-end program, you want to cover your costs, you want to cover expenses, and you want to grow that way. That did nothing for me. It certainly didn't inspire me. I wanted speed. And I've always been somebody that I realized that if I want to make the kind of gains that I want, I used to compete heavily in triathlons. I hired coaches. I trained heavily, and I wasn't scared to push myself. And yet in business, I was really hesitant about pushing myself. And it wasn't that I wasn't scared of pushing myself. It was I was being held hostage to most of the advice out there that really wasn't helping me, like literally just pushing myself and going. And this whole notion of just, you know, replacing, covering costs and growing incrementally with a low-end program and or a book or a home study program, and then just kind of growing it that way, that did nothing for me. And as an aside right now, I'll tell you that in the post-information age in which we live today, and we fast accelerated out of the information age into the advisory age over the last 12 to 18 months, maybe 24 months where we started. We are full-blown in the advisory age today. And that means that just about all the advice that I see around building an expert guru platform today is outdated, doesn't work, and doesn't provide you positioning, packaging power for your intellectual property, and a plan of execution to leverage the new realities of the advisory age. So when I was a teacher, I decided, I hired a coach. I hired a lot of coaches and got a lot of, and that's how I started knowing the industry so well. And today I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to the tune of just over $355,000 personal coaching, mentoring, consulting, as I'm a huge believer in it, and also several $1 million back into my company to grow it. And what gave me that kickstart and this overthinking of incremental growth, and that's just what everybody was teaching me, and I still see it today. And in today's market, it's simply not going to do what you want it to do. Where there are so many experts, so many gurus, just go to Amazon and take a look at how many experts there are in your industry, and there are tons. There are thousands, if not tens of thousands, in today's market. So we've got to execute differently, and that was my aha moment. Back when I was a teacher, a vice principal, an assistant head, depending on where you live in the world, I realized that if I wanted to really accelerate like I was able to in sports, and to really to get myself out of my way and develop the kind of confidence that I wanted in business, I needed to create quantum leaps in business. And what started off as, I went from $500 programs to $2,400 to $7,900 to $12,000 to $18,000 to $22,000 to $29,000, then to $32,000, $49,000, $70,000, $80,000, $99,000, $120,000. I did that all within a year. And today I don't advocate even the lower end programs. I didn't know any better. I just got into a lot of industries, and there were a lot of companies that started throwing some very big dollar figures at me, where I had $50,000 clients within 6 months of launching my business. And I was fortunate to get thrown into a lot of different industries very quickly, where I got an understanding of how to evaluate IP, how to organize advice, companies' advice into and package it for them. And then they would retain me because they saw me as very good at pitching what they were doing and messaging what they were doing. So we created some very cool systems all around that. And that's what my Omega Mind clients came to Las Vegas for the last 3-day intensive, to not just use the principles that I'm going to share with you now, these 7, and they undergird every tool, every process, every system, every template, every blueprint, every agreement that all my clients have access to. So if they need a keynote, We've got a keynote program for them to work from, and how to command maximum fees and royalties from keynoting. If they have a big deal that they're doing in front of the boardroom, we have templates. We have structured systems on how to pitch those deals. If they want to build coaching royalties, which I highly recommend that all of you think very clearly that you need. Because if you don't have those, how are you going to really build a time freedom business that allows you to get on top of your company and grow an advisory-based company today, unless you get out of trading time for money, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to move forward now into these 7 systems, and I've diagrammed these out here for you for the most part, just to help you think. So here is the first principle here I want you to understand, and that's this. Instead of commoditized value over here, where you are competing on the lowest rungs of the price ladder, and that's where all the competition is. This is the price ladder. I want you to think of premium value over here, and positioning yourself and your company and your branding and all your company's USPs, market differentiators, okay, at the highest rungs of the value ladder. So I'm juxtaposing yourself here and what most coaches, consultants teach today, and most experts in this industry around starting with low-end programs. All you're doing is being viewed as a commodity. And because you're being viewed as a commodity, you can only price point yourself that way, as opposed to positioning yourself on the value ladder. So I want to encourage you, first of all, to move away from the price ladder and move towards the value ladder. Why would you want to compete where all the competitors are? Why wouldn't you want to do what my $1.24 million client, that's right, Dennis Eagle, closed his first $1.24 million coaching deal in less than 8 weeks, starting from scratch, working with me. And in his words, he said, Glenn, I want to be a category of one. I want to stand apart in the market where I have everybody else comparing themselves to me. Okay, so that's the first principle that I want you to be aware of. So if you want to be unstoppable, you got to play big. And it's hard to play big on the commodity ladder, right? The ladder that teaches you to undervalue your advice, compete where all the other people are. You're not even thinking of coaching royalties. You're just basically thinking of how am I going to survive? And this does not bring survival. This brings more than survival. And that's the new reality in the advisory age. Not surviving versus more than thriving. All right. And I want you to be like Dennis Eagle. And many of my clients today, they have programs that run well into 6 figures and even 7 figures. Second principle that my clients learned, and the tools, systems, processes, templates, blueprints, and what we worked on were these systems built from this contrast. This is the traditional business funnel, right? Where most experts teach, and just look at most experts online. They all teach this. You know, start with a low end free product, some kind of lead generator, and then move forward to higher and end programs and services. I do a small dollar sign down there. Why? Because this is a recipe for undervaluing and not being able to charge what you're worth, as opposed to flipping the business funnel or inverting the funnel and positioning instantly a high-end program or service. Okay. And at our 3-day business acceleration intensive, that's what we're working on, is and assisting my clients to close high-end deals. So you want to think away from this funnel, and you want to think of the inverted business funnel. All right. That's absolutely crucial. Only the inverted business funnel will allow you to command maximum fees, because the realities in the advisory age is this, that your potential candidates expect to get your best, and then they're gone. Your potential candidates, let me repeat this once again, expect to get your best, and then they're gone. Why would you constrain your IP in a book, in a free report? There's got to be a better way of magnifying your value and also structuring your business and your advice to not just command maximum fees, but get paid over and over and over again through royalties. So the third principle then is this. Okay, I want you to think away from a product. Think differently away from a product, and instead I want you to think of testing and assessing. All right, so you want to think away from a product such as a book, and instead you want to focus on testing and assessing. Testing and assessing. You might be saying, Glenn, what do you think? What do you mean by that? Well, in today's marketplace, it's all around getting your target market to use your material. Okay, use your advice. It's a very outcome-based marketplace. That's what your potential candidates want for your programs. They want to see results, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what they're investing in with you. So you've got to get your target market a way to execute and comprehend your advice and the magnitude of how valuable you are. And that's why you want to create a system of tests and a system to assess your marketplace in a way that your competitors aren't. And we use tools like assessment instruments, very strategic. Some of them can be created in as quickly as 10 to 15 minutes. Some of them might take a few hours to create, and have a series of tools that allow you to test and assess your target market as you're the only option for them. So along with that, then we want to think of the 3 Ps. And this is why I'm such a huge advocate of thinking from testing and assessing, because we want to think from the 3 Ps. And the 3 Ps are position. You want to position your company, yourself, your advice. You then want to package it properly. So position, package it, and create a different plan of action. You want to do and practice what your competitors aren't doing. You do not want to be relegated at all to what your competitors are doing, or you've instantly become irrelevant. In today's marketplace, the advisory age is a race to see who becomes irrelevant the quickest. And if you want to become relevant, you've got to have a faster way than becoming irrelevant. Let me just say that again. In the advisory age, you've got to have a faster way of becoming relevant than you have of becoming irrelevant. All right? I want you to follow me there. This is really important. And we're going to pick up on this here further. The next principle, and this is principle number 4, you want to think away from TTFM and you want to think towards ROIT. Think from TTFM towards ROIT. Now you might be saying, Glenn, what is TTFM and what is ROIT? TTFM stands for trading time for money. Most coaches, most consultants are held hostage to trading time for money. And you simply can't build a company trading time for money. It is impossible in the advisory age to build a company around this model. You must build your company around return on invested time. So yes, you're going to put time in, but the time that you want to put in, you want payout on that time. And it's ideally even better if you get paid out over and over and over again, like I do, and like many of my clients do today. Why? Because they have a more intelligent business model than when they started working with me. And definitely they have a more intelligent business model than their competition. And this is how you can start dominating marketplaces. By instead of trading time for money, you've got a return on invested time business. Okay? Are you getting this? 5th principle is this. Instead of putting pressure on making money over here, so focusing on making money, instead you want to think of how you can control a marketplace. Okay? So instead of thinking about money, I want you to think about how you can control a marketplace. This is crucial in today's marketplace. Yes, my clients make a lot of money. They just simply use my systems, my processes, templates, legal agreements. all my plans of action. They use all the templates that I've created to close millions and millions of dollars in coaching. And they use our templates to focus on, and blueprints to focus on controlling markets. You see, when you control a market, you can charge whatever you want because you make yourself incomparable. So if you want to control a market in today's world, you got to remember the marketplace today has changed. We live in the post-information age, which I call the advisory age. Some other people, experts, call it the recommendation age. Okay? The age where your potential, where people choose 2 or 3 trusted advisors, and from that, they will choose the top trusted advisor and lead on that trusted advisor for months, if not years, and maybe for a lifetime. If you're structured, if you're positioned, you package your advice right, and you have a better plan of action. So what's it worth it to you to have a client for life like I do? I've had clients that have been with me for years. They've paid me hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I don't have to go out, and I can be in a very fortunate position today to be very selective in who I work with. And it's a powerful feeling. I've got a great ROIT business. I get to spend time vetting potential candidates for our programs directly. I have no sales team. I'm not hostage to somebody stealing my advice. I'm not held hostage to people that are, use slimy sales tactics and strategies and all that kind of stuff. And you probably don't want that either. So you need a better way of educating. And so in the advisory age, then it's all about leveraging the seam of success. And the seam of success is doing what others don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. So if you want to be unstoppable, you've got to literally do what others don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. All right, I call that the seam of success. Our next principle here, principle number 6 in becoming unstoppable, is instead of focusing on selling, as I mentioned, you want to think about how you can enter multiple markets really quickly. So instead of focusing on selling, take a look at how you can position, package, and your plan of execution for entering multiple markets very quickly, using the power of the advisory age, which is also the IP age, the intellectual property age. And this is where it's absolutely crucial that you've got coaching and training royalties. So if you hate selling, you want to start creating coaching royalties. And the best way that I know how to do this is creating your own private white label coaching, consulting, training programs, i.e. known as co-branding. There's no one else teaching this in today's marketplace. This is why this is so highly strategic for you right now to be the first in your industry. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry today for you to be able to leverage where you don't have to do what other coaches are doing, other consultants and trainers. Because I guarantee you, at best, they're trading time for money. And at best, they're charging, maybe $300, $400, $500 an hour for an hour of their time, which, it might sound like good money if you had a job. But in the business world, business people don't speak that language. In the advisory age, we don't speak in terms of traditional business funnels, lead magnets. We don't speak in terms of having low-end programs. Now, there's a place for that. Don't you hear me clearly? It's just not at the beginning of your business. Your job is to close deals. Your job is to attract ideal candidates for your programs. Leave the bottom feeders for your competitors. Let them wrestle with those people. They're the ones that are going to end up ripping your IP off. They're the ones that won't implement, end up auditing your program. And they're the ones that just create a nuisance. How do I get great case studies? Would you like to have the kind of case studies that I have? You got to know how to educate the kind of clientele that automatically come to you. When we were at Omega Mine last week, everybody couldn't believe the synergy of our group. And that's because I vet everybody very carefully against 5 critical vetting criteria. And we have a very powerful process that all of my clients use to attract the kind of clients that they love and want to work with. The 7th principle is this of becoming unstoppable. And that's this. Instead of getting paid once, I just wrote a $sign here. I want you to think about how you can get paid over and over again. And this is my formula here for getting paid over and over again. Okay. First of all, you want to take and you want to magnify your value. So I call that Y. Okay. So we're going to substitute a multiple there so we can charge a lot more. And we've got a measurable system to help you create or package your intellectual property and position yourself. And then we need a better coaching, consulting, or training model that'll provide you accelerated growth. All right. And if you follow this model here versus this model over here, trading time for money, getting paid once, as opposed to getting paid over and over and over again, it's amazing the kind of confidence that you will create for yourself to grow even faster. Because one of the principles around becoming unstoppable is understanding this. Self-esteem is always vested in accomplishment. Let me repeat that again. Becoming unstoppable is vested in this principle that developing confidence is the result of accomplishment. And when you start accomplishing big things very quickly, your confidence can easily go from here, and instead of going here, 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 and then get thrown back because you're just incremental. So you find that it's really hard to get to this level up here because you need a kickstart or a better model to automatically take you to that level. Okay. Problem with most goal setting is that people are setting goals within their own paradigm of success. And your own paradigm of success, by definition, is preventing you from creating the new paradigm that you want for business. So you got to think outside of that paradigm. You got to think outside of the box. Remember our seam of success, doing what others don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. Okay, now for my bonus step about being unstoppable and what my clients in Vegas learned, and most importantly, they just didn't learn, but we focused on executing and getting things done and closing more deals while we were there. They understood the reality of this diagram so well. This is our this is the comparison that I want you to understand. In the information age, it was all about the big beating the small, the big trumping the small, the big just wiping out the small. In today's marketplace, the post-information age, the advisory age, it's all about the fast, especially the super fast that eat the slow. And the slow are those that are practicing incremental growth, and they inevitably get to an area here that just holds them back, as opposed to moving fast or moving even faster and immediately starting with high-end programs and services and building off of a better model that will allow you to get paid just like I showed you here. All right, getting paid over and over and over again. All right, so those are the 7 principles and the bonus one about becoming unstoppable in the advisory age in which we live. I want to encourage you right now that if you would like some direct connection contact with me, I'm doing a little experiment, and we have a huge queue right now that didn't get into our last. We did a whole qualification application process into mentoring. We've got a list right now of almost 1,000 people that want in, just working directly with me. They're ready to hand us money, but it's not, and many of them, even they want to buy their way into a lifestyle entrepreneur magazine. We attract those kinds of people, very aggressive. They understand you pay for the best and you only cry once. But as I mentioned, everybody's got to be vetted by me, and I got to make sure that they're a good fit for the program. We do all the time get a lot of phone calls, a lot of people that have been on vacation, missed opportunities to be mentored by me, etc. If you are a mover or shaker, want to be a mover or shaker, you understand what I taught today as crucial to business growth and your business growth, and you want to be involved with my clients and meet them and get an opportunity to work with them. They're an amazing group. They share everything. That's one of my vetting criteria. And it's unbelievable how we work as a group to help each other close deals. And I've created some very cool processes. So you never have to sell. You don't need a high-priced copywriter. You don't need convoluted business funnels, etc. But if you are serious about business and would like to schedule in a strategy session with me, a speed to market strategy session, I'll take a look at your business. I've got nothing to sell because I don't even know if you're a fit for our company. But I want to, this is the advisory age, and I produce these training events for you each week. Our Business Breakthrough Google Hangout, which is sponsored by Lifestyle Entrepreneur Magazine. They're at no cost for you. Our reach is growing exponentially. And we have got so many thought leaders that I'm working with right now. Many of them under NDAs, don't want others to know that we're working with them. But if you would, if you are committed to accelerated growth and you want to have access to me, you can, this is the fastest way. I'll give you the fast way and the slow way. Fast way is to text strategy right here and to the word strategy, STRATEGY, all lowercase, to 1-248-469-4376. Okay, this is the fastest way for you and I to exchange contact information. I'll show you how to prepare for our time together so I can come prepared. So I can provide some customized direct assistance. This is only for serious entrepreneurs. So if you're not serious, please, please, please do not waste my time. And we've had everybody for these very carefully. So you can text the word strategy to 1-248-469-4376. If that scares you, to text me, and I'll let you know that today's fastest movers text me, and they want to exchange direct contact information with me, and that's why I set this up. And there's no, I'm not sharing your information with anybody. You're not being promoted to. I don't have any joint venture partners. You'll notice that week after week after week, I don't promote people's products, services, etc. I'm in a very powerful position, and I have all kinds of people coming to me, and I want to help you get to that same kind of position. It's not because I'm brighter. Trust me. Just look at me. I'm not that bright. What I do have is a very competitive system to help you. Can I use the word crush your competitors? You realize that this is a cutthroat market, right? And let your competitors all, play cutthroat with low end on the price ladder. I want to help you rise above all of that and position yourself truly as the trusted advisor. The other actionable step here, if you want to go the slow way, because that scares you, you can go through and apply here at newgurumodel.com/do you qualify? Do you qualify? Don't worry, there's nothing to sell. We're not going to be, coming at you, buy this, buy that, and the other thing. I have nothing to sell because I don't even know if you are a true candidate for our program. So you can, if you're serious, take a look at newgurumodel.com/do-you-qualify. And if you are like my Omega Mind clients, they've all gone through the same process. They will tell you that they've learned a ton going through the educational process. And most importantly, they really want the kind of results that I've been showing you that my clients are getting. And I believe modeling is the best way that we learn. And if you want to make speed your competitive advantage, as I mentioned in the bonus principle here around becoming unstoppable, you've got to be close to the source of momentum. So you want to choose a mentor that has momentum. You want to be involved with other candidates, successful candidates that have been vetted directly by the mentor and have an opportunity to work alongside and assist each other. Because this world, it's so hard to get ahead. We all have loved ones that hold us back. We've got friends that hold us back. We're not executing the way that we want. All of us, if we're really honest with ourselves, we're being held hostage to the current business model that we're using. And I do want to let you know that many of the clients that come to us, the first thing they want to know is, will you not work with my top couple of competitors? And if this concerns you, this can be an honest conversation that we have, because I do have that with some of my clients that are very concerned that I won't work with their competitors. So anyways, take the concepts that I covered today and please make them yours, and find somebody that that will model these systems for you and give you the kind of processes, systems, templates, blueprints, agreements. So you've got everything, so you can just, in speed to market, become a fast fish, right? Because it's the fast that consume the slow. I look forward to our next Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. Please use the concepts that I covered today, make them yours. And I look forward to celebrating your victories with you in the coming days. Have a great one, everyone.